Hi class, today I will be pushing the boundaries of LDT seminar by giving my prototype presentation via YouTube. So I hope the innovative presentation tactic makes up for the fact that my prototype is not that far along. As I've talked about earlier, I have been working in two classes with some of you. The Learning Spaces class and the Child Development and New Technologies class. And my plan has been to take the elements that I like from each of these two projects and combine them into my master's project. So let's see, I will, start by presenting the animation that I made with Young Hauer for Learning Spaces class. And then I will talk a little bit more about the other projects from the Child Development class, also with Laura, Sherwin, and Nicole. And I'm going to try to get hopefully some feedback from you guys on what elements you think are worth pursuing, and then I'll just talk about what some of my next steps are. So just real quickly to introduce the animation I'm about to show. It's from the Children's Discovery Museum, and it's about creating an exhibit based around evidence gathering and discovery for this new mammoth, this new exhibit they're building around a mammoth skeleton. We have question-asking stations. There are a few of them scattered throughout the exhibit floor, and the visitor, the kid, will walk in, get an RFID tag, and these question-asking stations will then identify them through this RFID tag. Okay, I'll show you the animation now. So there's no audio on this animation, so I'll try to narrate it a little bit. Our target user group is a child, in this case a young girl, and her parent, her mother. So they've been given an RFID tag, and they approach the question-asking station. And this station spurs them to ask a question, or hear other questions modeled from other visitors, so they know what type of question to ask. They get encouragement. The system says, "Oh, great question." And now, based on that question, the system displays an evidence pathway, which is just a sequence of exhibits that they should look at that are related to their question. So this will help them make their own discoveries about their initial question, as well as create connections between different exhibits. And the idea is that the RFID tags would also trace their own path, because each exhibit that they go to will be recorded, so then you can revisit your evidence pathway. So that's a quick summary of that project. My next step there will be to show this animation and explanation to woman Jenny Martin, who was our contact at the Discovery Museum, and to get her feedback about what seems feasible and what seems like a good idea. Next, I thought I'd just talk real briefly about our project in the Child Development class, and sorry for those of you that are in my group, and if I get it wrong, you can correct everybody. But the basic idea is that a kid will also get an RFID tag, but this time, as they approach an exhibit, they'll interact with, in our case, Kermit the Frog, but they'll have an avatar that'll prompt certain actions, so either asking a question or gathering a piece of evidence or making a conclusion. And then they'll be asked to have their parent take a picture of them doing that behavior. So they'll do that a few times as they move through the exhibit, and this picture, the camera will be connected through to the station, and then there'll be a chance to go into an editing booth after they've traveled through the exhibit, and where they will see a slideshow of each of their steps along this inquiry process, and they will then be asked to, in a narrative form, describe what they were doing. So they create a story about their trip through that exhibit. So my next steps are to take the elements I like from each project, and that's, I guess, still changing a little bit, but from the first project, I really like the idea of these evidence pathways as a way to view a museum experience rather than like a series of individual exhibits or just a room that's a collection of individual exhibits. The idea that the sequence that you experience each exhibit is significant because they're related to each other, and that's sort of that they might progress from just being curious to each exhibit being a piece of evidence and then ultimately making some maybe larger conclusion or larger discovery. So I really like that aspect, and I also really like the idea of being able to record the process through pictures, as well as the opportunity to create a narrative story about your experience through those exhibits. So taking those pictures and just have the user explain what they were doing. So my next steps are to learn how to use RFID so that I can make a physical working prototype, and I'm excited about doing that. I've spoken with a few people actually, and I'll be meeting with someone tomorrow to learn a little bit more about what my next steps should be in that regard. And yeah, so that's where I am now. I'm ready to start making some physical thing that hopefully will work. So if you have any feedback about these ideas, what elements do you think I should include or need to refine further, then either, I guess, I don't know how we'll do this, maybe post comments somewhere or through email or something. Yeah, so I hope this presentation worked and hope it wasn't too boring. So thank you.